Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN television news for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Coming up in the news this evening, Ministry of Education to disclose the next step for the full reopening of all schools on Friday. Johnson & Johnson vaccine now available as Grenada's third COVID-19 vaccine choice. 2020 non-capital murder case to be heard before the High Court next year. 18-year-old boys accused of robbing a supermarket given a firm scolding by the presiding magistrate. Father and daughter duo arrested and charged in major drug bust, granted bail. Coming up regionally, PAHO still not in support of vaccination for children population. Internationally, continuing US-EU sanctions on Burundi add to their economic woes. Coming up in sports, West Indies to tour Sri Lanka for 2 test matches come November 21st, 2021. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories right after this.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh with the details. Top story this evening, the talk across parts of the country is that all school students throughout the island will return to their classrooms next week, Monday. GBN spoke to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Kevin Andel, this evening, who did not confirm nor deny the talks, but did inform the news desk that a press release is being prepared and that information will be issued by Friday. Friday will also mark the end of government's 2-week phased approach with a focus on students who are in exit grades or classes and are those who were not engaged in remote learning when the school year began in September. In other news, if you're thinking about getting vaccinated, then you now have a third option of a COVID-19 vaccine. That's according to Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles, who revealed the arrival of Johnson & Johnson doses on Thursday. Rena Perry-Thomas tells us more.
From tomorrow, Friday, the 11th of November, Grenadians will have a third option of COVID-19 vaccine as health officials announced the arrival of Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says the small supply of vaccines that will be administered to people 18 years and older arrived in Grenada on Thursday.
I'm pleased to announce that the Ministry of Health has received a small supply of Johnson & Johnson vaccines, 2,000 doses to be exact, which we are going to make available to the Grenadian public. As you're aware, this vaccine has the advantage of being a single dose vaccine. So we encourage everyone to come out and get their shots.
On April 23rd, CDC and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration resumed the use of Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine after a temporary pause. In October, the Food and Drug Administration authorized a Johnson & Johnson vaccine booster shot. The booster allows anyone who got the one shot to get an added dose of protection at least 2 months later. The Chief Medical Officer reminded Grenadians that booster shots for the AstraZeneca vaccine are now available to the public.
Yes, we are offering a third dose of AstraZeneca vaccine to individuals age 65 and over, individuals 18 years and over who have underlying medical problems, and to individuals 18 years and over who work on the front lines and are at increased risk of exposure and infection with COVID-19.
According to the Ministry of Health's latest dashboard, 72,148 doses of COVID-19 vaccines were administered. 32,949 people are fully vaccinated and 6,250 people are partially vaccinated. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The non-capital murder case involving a St. Mark resident goes to trial in the High Court next year. The man accused of the death of his companion, Chanel Alexis, had his last day hearing heard in the Magistrates Court on Thursday. Chrislena John was at the Victoria Magistrates Court and filed this report.
In a matter that drew national attention back in June 2020, Mitch Phillip, the man formerly charged for the death of 23-year-old Chanel Alexis of Victoria St. Mark, appeared before Magistrate Francine Foster for the final hearing of his matter at the Victoria Magistrates Court on Thursday, before it goes to the High Court. Phillip had a charge of non-capital murder slapped on him. Attorney George Prime was the legal counsel representing the 49-year-old joiner of Queen Street, Victoria St. Mark. 11 witnesses were called to give evidence in this matter, most of whom were present virtually in court. However, none spoke at today's proceedings. Phillip is alleged to have intentionally caused the death of Chanel Alexis, who was pronounced dead on arrival at the General Hospital on the 30th of May last year. It took officials 3 weeks before an autopsy revealed the actual cause of Alexis's death. The expertise of a forensic pathologist from Trinidad and Tobago was brought in to conduct a second autopsy. The findings, coupled with additional evidence obtained, led to the charge laid against Phillip. If found guilty of the crime, Phillip could be sentenced to life imprisonment. Phillip was granted bail by the High Court and will make his first High Court appearance sometime in January of 2022. Chrislena John, GBN News.
Still with more court news, the Victoria Magistrates Court was abuzz today as a number of matters were deliberated on before Judge Francine Foster on the final day of court proceedings for 2021. Here's Chrislena John once again, who followed Thursday's court matters.
Among matters heard was that of teenagers Aaron Chase, 18 years old, of Riverside St. Mark, and Alvin Jerome, 18 years old, of the same parish. Both made their second court appearance at the Victoria Magistrates Court on Thursday, following their first court appearance at the Guelph Magistrates Court on Monday. Both young men were accompanied in court by their parents. The two teenagers were placed on $10,000 and $7,000 bail respectively, laid against them in connection with the alleged robbery of a supermarket at Victoria St. Mark on October 30th. The young men were charged jointly for robbery with violence, while Chase received an additional charge of robbery with violence in connection with a separate incident that allegedly occurred on May 27th at the Victoria gas station. Both Chase and Jerome were represented by attorney Jerry Edwin, who believes the decision taken by the magistrate was, in his view, appropriate.
The objective with the 5-day reporting that I insisted on, it is not because I think it is draconian, but rather it is something I think the community in St. Mark's would be very concerned about. After all, this robbery, when it occurred, sent shock waves to the community. These young men used cutlasses and knives, covered their faces, and in the style of the kind of gangland robbery we see in other jurisdictions, some of them very close to Grenada, they were intent on causing fear to the residents and the shopkeepers in St. Mark's.
Chase and Jerome are required to report to the Victoria Police Station 5 times per week between the hours 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., must be confined to their homes by 6 p.m. daily, and must seek written permission from the court to leave the state. Any violation of the terms and conditions of the bail will result in immediate imprisonment. Attorney Edwin says that he intends to, at the next court hearing, to deter these young men from reverting to such acts.
We cannot control the entire community of Victoria, but at least these two young men will not be roaming, and they are my clients, and I'm happy to say they will be kept out of harm's way and will not be roaming the streets of Victoria after 6 p.m. between now and the time that the matter is called. And I think that I will, when the next hearing is held in February, do my mitigation along such lines. Not that we slap them on the wrist, but that they hear the court loud and clear and desist any further and think about any career in crime.
Their next court appearance is set for February 17th, 2022. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, a father and daughter, along with an acquaintance, were jointly charged for possession of drugs and ammunition. The three made their court appearance at the Victoria Magistrates Court on Thursday and were granted bail. More, once again, from Chrislina John.
One man was detained by police at the Maurice Bishop International Airport as he attempted to board a flight out of the country earlier this week. Bradford Thomas, a Grenadian residing in the United States, along with Shamora Charles and Mrs. Antoine, were arrested and charged by police in connection with the seizure of a quantity of cannabis and ammunition. A police operation resulted in the seizure of 13 pounds of cannabis and 295 rounds of ammunition. 12 pounds of cannabis and 200 rounds of ammunition were recovered at Waltham St. Mark, while 1 pound of cannabis and 95 rounds of ammunition were recovered at Bonaire St. Mark. In total, the drug carried an estimated street value of $27,160 Eastern Caribbean dollars. Both Antoine and Thomas had 4 charges slapped on them, while Shamora had 3 charges brought against her. The 3 were brought to the Victoria Magistrates Court on Thursday with joint representation from attorneys Ali Gill and Damani Edwards.
Granted bail for the offences. They're innocent until the court and the evidence has led its proof otherwise. I appeared this morning with Counsel Mr. Delani Edwards on behalf of all the accused, and all of the accused were granted bail. Charges are for possession of ammunition. There is no firearms involved. Ammunition is simply some bullets. And for 13 pounds of weed, 13 pounds of marijuana, which we deal with more marijuana than that most of the times in court. Only living in the state at the time, and not knowing that he was under investigation for anything, unaware of what the police were doing. He was not in any way attempting to leave the state unlawfully. Obviously, now to travel, you have to have PCR test 72 hours before. You have to have everything, which he did.
The 3 were granted bail. Antoine's bail amounts to $35,000 for possession of ammunition and trafficking a controlled drug. Thomas's bail amounts to approximately $62,000 overall, as well as bail conditions. He is required to submit all travel documents, report to the Victoria Police Station 4 times per week, and must obtain written consent from the court to leave the state. Charles's bail amounts to approximately $40,000. They are due to appear for the next court hearing on February 3rd, 2022. Chrislina John, GBN News.
And that's the end of the first segment of GBN's Nightly News. But still to come, Chairman of the Grenada National Reparations Committee calls for the renaming of streets and other important areas to accurately reflect Grenada's history and heritage. Stay with us, more news is next.
Darling, would you like some tea? I've made your favorite.
Well, thank you, darling. I'm here finishing my blog post to help homeowners understand their electricity bills. The left side of your bill shows the rates for electricity and the government charges. The middle portion shows the number of units you've consumed, plus the history of your usage over the last 8 months. And the right side shows how much you're being charged.
I really think people are going to value this information.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain. You're the reason we care.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Welcome to Nurses Care, a new home healthcare company on Ireland, changing the way you receive healthcare. From registered nurses and aides to medical doctors and qualified physicians, we offer a wide range of healthcare services, from monitoring chronic conditions and medications to elderly care, pediatric care, and maternity nurses, to even housekeeping and case management. We offer 24/7 in-house healthcare services. So contact us today for your in-house consultation at 439-3928.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
On Sunday, November 14th from 6 p.m. as Megaforce presents the 32nd Waggity Virtual Bingo.
And this time we're playing for
US $10,000. Tickets are only $10. Get them now from numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. Or if you're playing overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, November 14th, you can win. Big! Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo. Have you heard? It's the new way to play bingo.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank. Republic Bank remains committed to providing all its valued customers with high quality and personalized service in a safe and comfortable environment. In order to maintain COVID-19 protocols while serving you, it has become necessary to arrange an appointment with your relationship officer or the customer service representative at your branch for the following products and services: loans, overdrafts, credit cards, new accounts to include savings, checking, certificate of deposit, and foreign currency, reactivation of dormant accounts, and private banking for existing customers only. You may also log on to our website, complete the application form for the service required, and submit via email to your specific branch. Requests for appointment can also be emailed to customerservice@republicgrenada.com or via private message on our Facebook page. For private banking service, kindly contact your specific branch via telephone. We look forward to welcoming you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Are Grenadians open to the renaming of streets and other important areas to accurately reflect the country's history and heritage? We may just get that opportunity if Cabinet decides in favor of a request from the Grenada National Reparations Committee. Gerard Joseph has the details.
Consideration will be given to renaming streets and important areas to reflect Grenada's history and heritage that is more common to the Grenadian people. This as the Grenada National Reparations Committee garnered a positive response from Prime Minister Dr. Kit Mitchell.
We are delighted that the Prime Minister has seen it fit to bring such an issue before the Cabinet. We first of all have to appreciate that most of the names of the streets and national buildings, villages, communities, all across Grenada is more or less was named by our colonial masters.
Chairman of the committee, Ali Gill, says they are part of the CARICOM mandate for reparations throughout the region.
So that you will find that most of the streets, if not all, represent persons who were slave owners and who were colonialists. And they basically represent 18th or 19th century Grenadian history. Definitely, they represent colonial history before 1974. We believe as a nation, as we chart our way forward, it is extremely important for our national consciousness to revisit this issue and to rename most, if not all, of these streets, schools, national monuments after iconic Grenadians.
If approved, the renaming will form part of Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence celebrations in 2024.
Here we are not just speaking about politicians. We are speaking about medical doctors, teachers, fisher folks, farmers, community workers, persons who would have sacrificed and would have done a lot for the development of our community. And we believe that that will reflect much more positively for us as a nation and as a people.
Gill, who is Grenada's ambassador to CARICOM, says pending Cabinet's endorsement, the committee, together with government, will research and consult citizens regarding the renaming.
In fact, we envisage that what we are going to do is to also invite persons from our communities to make recommendations. Of course, copied along with the biographical data of the persons that they are recommending, so that we are not saying to rename these places tomorrow. We are saying let us do so in 2 years, so that we have sufficient time to research properly, to consult, and to do what we believe is necessary. So we're not advocating an ad hoc or a rushed approach. We believe that we're in good time for the 50th anniversary of independence.
Gill says the committee believes it is important to recognize citizens who have made an indelible mark on the development of the nation. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Non-performing loans continue to be an issue of contention for financial institutions, especially following the economic fallout caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Understanding the emotional plight of customers who are struggling to service their loans and missed 3 consecutive monthly payments, experienced banker Richard Duncan has some advice on steps that can be taken. Here's Gerard Joseph once again.
In the latest episode of ECCB Connects, outgoing managing director of the Grenada Cooperative Bank, Richard Duncan, noted that there are steps customers can follow to ensure their loans do not become non-performing. Entering a debtor-creditor relationship with a financial institution brings certain obligations to service the loan, and failure to do so within 90 days, the loan is deemed non-performing. The experienced banker has this advice to avoid such situations.
Keep in touch with your banker. There is absolutely no shame in calling a banker and say, I have been terminated. This is my severance package. Can I speak with you as to how it is? I can use these monies to protect my credit rating, to protect the assets that I'm in the process of owning when I finish paying the loan.
Thousands have lost their jobs in Grenada alone, while many others are earning less than before. Mr. Duncan said an arrangement can be worked out.
Obviously, based on your age and stage in life, you'll be able to have a moratorium, for example, which would tide you over so that when the pandemic subsides and is eventually brought under control, if you return to gainful employment, you can then, rearrange your affairs to sustain the sustainable levels, so to speak.
If unable to collect interest from loans, Duncan said the financial institution will be affected as it cannot pay depositors' interest and continue normal operations. Thus, he said bankers are trained to be empathetic in the process of ensuring the depositors' funds are returned.
And it's easier said than done, because there's the psychological trauma, there's the feeling of having, let down your family, your kids, as a breadwinner and stuff like that. So all these emotions, come into play. But bottom line is that you have contractual obligations. You have certain amount of leverage and negotiating skills under certain circumstances, and you should make maximum use of those.
The banker noted that while the sale of assets that secure the loan is the final recourse, it is not the first option. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And it's that time of the night where we bring you health updates. For this week's GBN Health, Krista Campbell provides you with a global outlook of the current COVID-19 situation.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Brentwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
The World Health Organization reported on Wednesday, November 10th, that coronavirus deaths rose by 10% in Europe in the past week, making it the only world region where both COVID-19 cases and deaths are steadily increasing. It was the 6th consecutive week that the virus has risen across the continent.
You're coming down the mountain, you're usually about to go back up another one, and the fact that Europe is climbing that mountain again should really stand everybody up around the world and say, what are we going to do? Because Europe does have the capacity, and European countries have the capacity. They have the vaccine access. They have the money. They have the systems in place that they can react. Many other regions don't necessarily have those capacities in place. So I think it's a warning shot for the world to see what's happening in Europe despite the availability of vaccination.
In its weekly report on the pandemic, the UN Health Agency said there were about 3.1 million new cases globally, about a 1% increase from the previous week. The countries with the highest numbers of new cases worldwide were the United States, Russia, Britain, Turkey, and Germany. Out of the 61 countries WHO includes in its European region, which includes Russia and stretches to Central Asia, 42% reported a jump in cases of at least 10% in the last week. Meanwhile, the number of weekly COVID-19 deaths fell by about 4% worldwide and declined in every region except Europe. In Grenada, there has been a drastic reduction of COVID-19 deaths and cases. The latest COVID-19 report revealed that there are 0 deaths and 0 new confirmed cases. There has also been a notable decline of imported cases.
In October, we had 5,164 arrivals at Maurice Bishop International Airport. We had 4 positive cases detected. 3 were not vaccinated. 1 was fully vaccinated.
Tourism Minister Clarice Modest-Cowan says the low positive case count is a major contributing factor in Cabinet's decision to further lift the restrictions at Grenada's borders.
The plan is to do away with quarantine for fully vaccinated persons, and within a week from now, that will happen. So,
as of November 9th, 2021, 32,849 persons have been double vaxxed. For this week's health update, I am Krista Campbell reporting.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Perry-Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
Police have arrested and charged 2 teenagers for the alleged robbery of a supermarket at Victoria St. Mark last month. GBN brought this story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Herbert Philbert said, "We need to pray for our boys. God's deliverance is the key to break the chains that are keeping the boys in shame. We cry out to you, Lord." Love Amia comment, "It's when you're lazy and don't want to look for work. The money they rob is to buy weed and alcohol." Donnella James commented, "Government failed these young men." Charles Francois said, "The worst thing you can ever do in life is not take responsibility and be accountable for your action. How is the government to be blamed for this? If anything, the government and the current law is too lenient. If we don't address our current justice system, it will get worse." Diane Thomas said, "There are young people who go hustle to make a living, and then there are others who want quick money or want to imitate what they see on social medias or other countries. We should condemn this action in the strongest possible way." And finally, Gerard Spice drummer Charles commented, "Man, it have plenty job opportunities out there. All they have to do is get up and get. The same energy they use to rob people, use it to get a work." That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platform.
And still to come, Communal Cooperative Credit Union and Classic Lighting Caribbean collaborate to provide Grenadians with loans for the installation of solar security systems. That story is up next.
Immerse yourself in the pure and simple fragrances celebrating the best of nature, delicate flowers, the great outdoors, and the open ocean with Beep Air Freshener. Calming vanilla, berry burst, captivating orchid, cotton flower, ocean spray, and water lily make up the Beep Pure and Simple fragrance collection, capturing the purity and simplicity of nature that you can enjoy from the comfort of your home. Beep, for a happy, healthy home.
Effective Monday, November 1st, the St. George's branch of CGI, Consumers Guarantee Insurance Company Limited, will be moving to its new location at Steele's Commercial Complex, Grandance, St. George's. Our telephone and fax numbers will remain the same: 440-0217 and 440-6447. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by this relocation, and we look forward to serving you.
Introducing YouTube and TikTok to the Digicel Prime Bundle. Now get 1 GB daily to enjoy more YouTube. Plus 1 GB daily to like more TikTok videos. It's simply more entertainment bundled together. Get a 7-day bundle for $35 in My Digicel. More apps, more data, more fun. Digicel, better together.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Stay hydrated after an emergency or disaster. Store bottled or clean drinking water in tightly covered containers. Store at least 1 week's supply, 1 gallon or more a day per person. Do not drink tap water until you are told it is safe to do so. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. It's good news for farmers, businesses, and homeowners who would like to protect their property from intruders, as the Communal Cooperative Credit Union is partnering with Classic Lighting to provide solar security systems to members of the public. We get the details in this Rena Pear-Thomas report.
Termed Solar Vision and the Smart Energy 2.0 loan. Communal Cooperative Credit Union and Classic Lighting Caribbean has embarked on a mission to provide a cheaper and easier installed solar security system for homes, businesses, and farms. Through a loan offered by the credit union, the newest product of Classic Light Caribbean is said to be an all-inclusive solution for light and remote security, offering a cheaper alternative to protecting individuals' properties. In addition, the company, in collaboration with Flow, will enable farmers to remotely monitor their farmlands anywhere to deter the act of pretty larceny. Representing Classic Lighting Caribbean is Vaughn Lawrence.
Because the camera is smart and it's connected via your phone, you can be notified at any time when someone passes in front of your camera. You can check the recording and also send you snapshots of who in front of the camera. We have also the camera, because it's solar, you could put it anywhere. We have farmers already have it in their garden and they're looking at their crops during the day. The product has been manufactured and is IP66 rated, which means that it can withstand lots of rain, dust, and is very well manufactured for that, especially for our environment in the Caribbean.
The Communal Cooperative Credit Union will provide financing opportunities for its members and potential members wishing to purchase sustainable energy efficient products at attractive interest rates. Marketing and Communications Officer at Communal, Shireen Thomas, says the credit union is committed to assisting the agricultural sector by securing the livelihoods of farmers and property owners.
We are cognizant of the climate change experience
finance, and the fact that sustainable energy and development is something that small islands, we have to start getting along with. And this lighting system is one that offers you a complete package of being totally solar, and it also is using the renewable energy, it's cost efficient, no electricity, and you get the security of safeguarding your homes with lighting and also cameras. We know that off the bucket, persons just taking monies out of their pocket and purchasing this product may be difficult. So we are having a special loan that the product will be the premier item that can be financed in getting for households.
The initiative was launched at the Grenada Trade Center Annex on Thursday. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Thank you, Rena. And now it's time to take a peek through the GBN Eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Is just 3 and she always wants to wear a mask, so says our citizen journalist. CDC notes that people aged 2 and older should wear masks in public settings and when around people who do not live in their household. It also highlights that when you wear a mask, you protect others as well as yourself, and Cree is doing just that. We thank our Eyesore reporter for this submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And stay with us. The weather report and forecast is up next, followed by sports and around the globe.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
And now here's what the weather report and forecast is like for tonight and the next 3 days. Tonight, the minimum temperature is expected to be 25 degrees Celsius. The weather is expected to be mainly fair at first, becoming partly cloudy with light early morning showers. Winds will be east-northeasterly to easterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. Tides will be low at 6:32 p.m. and high at 12:37 a.m. On Friday, sunrise will be at 6:04 a.m., sunset 5:40 p.m. Mostly fair conditions are expected after light early morning showers. Looking ahead to Saturday, sunrise will be at 6:04 a.m., sunset 5:40 p.m. Generally fair conditions are expected. And then on Sunday, sunrise will be 5 minutes after 6 a.m. and sunset 5:40 p.m. The weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy. And that's a look at the weather report and forecast. Stay tuned. Sports is up next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's bowl off with cricket. West Indies will tour Sri Lanka for 2 tests, the first of which starts November 21st. And Captain Craig Brathwaite says it will take some hard work to defeat the hosts on their favoured hunting ground. Akeem Green has more in this report.
In 5 visits to Sri Lanka, the best result has been a drawn series in '93 and then again in 2010. The last tour in October 2015, Sri Lanka won the first test in Galle by innings in 6 runs and a second in Colombo by 72 runs. The Caribbean men's highest total in 4 innings on that tour was 251, and Brathwaite was a part of 7 men returning from that squad. He contended on this occasion they need to work extremely hard to combat the heavy dietary of quality spin expected. The skipper was in high praise for his batsmen, who are usually under pressure for the underperformances. In the 2 best of best matches, several of the team's first choice batsmen spent time in the middle and some even had significant scores in preparation for this tour. Albeit vastly different conditions and challenges anticipated in Sri Lanka, the captain felt it was a step in the right direction.
I'm very happy, to see that. I mean, when you're preparing for a test series, one of the keys is to spend time in the middle. I mean, we don't always have, we have best games now. And, when batters can spend time and plus obviously get runs, I think that's a plus, for the batting unit and for the team. So very, very pleased with how majority of guys, spent the time in the middle and got some runs as well. And we have a practice game in Sri Lanka, which will be good, to spend more time and then get ready, to play some tough test cricket.
The second test starts November 29, but before both tests, they play a warm-up fixture from November 14th. West Indies have played 1 series thus far in the second cycle of the World Test Championship, and it was a 1-all draw against Pakistan in August. West Indies Test squad reads Craig Brathwaite, captain, Jermaine Blackwood, vice-captain, and Nkrumah Bonner, Roston Chase, Rakeem Cornwall, Joshua De Silva, Shannon Gabriel, Jason Holder, Shea Hope, Kyle Mears, Rasami Pramal, Kimara Roach, Jaden Seals, Jeremy Solzano, and Jamal Warrican. For the newsroom, Akeem Green.
Meanwhile, Australia came back from the brink to beat Pakistan by 5 wickets in another gripping men's T20 World Cup semi-final. Needing 20 of the final 10 balls, Matthew Wade was dropped by Hassan Ali before hitting the next 3 deliveries for 6 to complete a stunning pursuit of 177 in Dubai. Here are some highlights.
Pakistan get to 176 for 4 of their 20.
Mitchell Marsh with power. He's just trying to get started. And look at this. Oh, very high. This is a difficult chance. Steady yourself and catch it. Oh, he does.
Down comes David Warner, and out of the ground goes the cricket ball. Now Smith goes high. We wait with bated breath, and we applaud.
Edge and gone, Shadab after the break. Massive wicket. No, Maxwell goes reverse and he's gone straight to the man. That is Samkat.
That's gone. That's a good contact from Marcus Stoinis. Sounded good. Is good. Brilliant from Matthew Wade. Oh, superb. Superb from Matthew Wade. Oh, that's gone. Magnificent from Matthew Wade. He does it again. This is a match-winning effort, and history has repeated itself somewhat. Australia into the final. Australia winning by 5 wickets here in Dubai.
It was a second thrilling finale in 24 hours after New Zealand's dramatic victory over England in Wednesday's semi-final. Australia and New Zealand, neither of whom have won the T20 World Cup, will meet in the final in Dubai on Sunday. And finally, Afghanistan's national women's football team has played their first match since being evacuated from the capital Kabul last month. They were among thousands of refugees flown to Qatar after the Taliban came to power in August. Although the Taliban has promised women in Afghanistan can participate in sports, female athletes say they are worried that this pledge will not be kept. The team hopes to stay together while they seek asylum in another country. Al Jazeera's Leah Harding reports from Qatar.
The few fans at this game know what it's taken to get here. These Afghan refugees barely fill one section of the stadium, but cheer to support their national women's team all the same. This is the first time the women's team have played since being evacuated from Kabul last month. They're up against Qatar, the nation hosting them. FIFA was behind the operation to evacuate nearly 100 footballers after the Taliban took control of Afghanistan in August. The future for women in sports there is still very uncertain.
Women were not allowed to take part in sports during the Taliban's first reign that ended in 2001. But now the Afghanistan women's national team get to compete on one of the biggest stages in the world, and one that will host the World Cup this time next year. The Khalifa International Stadium sits in the heart of Doha, close to where thousands of Afghan refugees are staying. Many came without their families, but have found close relationships on the field. The team expects to stay together and try to find asylum in another country. They've been invited to play other teams around the world as they look to find a new home base. While Qatar went on to win this match, the team coordinator said the experience was invaluable. While the away team can't go home, they're hopeful their futures will be brighter, both on and off the field. Leah Harding, Al Jazeera, Doha.
And that's sports news for now. Stay with us. Regional and international developments are up next. And now let's take a look at what's happening across the region. A press conference held by the Pan American Health Organization on Wednesday revealed that the organization is still against COVID-19 vaccination for children. This was disclosed by the Director of PAHO and Regional Director for the Americas of the World Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne. Here is Kendall Richmond with the details.
While a vast majority of countries worldwide, including Guyana, are presently hosting successful COVID-19 vaccination campaigns for their children population, they continue to do so without the support of the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization, as was stated by Dr. Etienne on Wednesday during a virtual press briefing. Guyana's vaccination drive for children began in August 2021 following the FDA approval for the Pfizer vaccines to be used for children ages 12 to 17. So far, 27,954 children have received a first dose of the Pfizer shot, representing 38.3% of that population, while 19,028 children have received both shots, representing 26.1% of that population. Even so, Dr. Etienne shared the relief that with the low vaccine availability, countries should be prioritizing their vaccine allocation.
It is best to protect the most vulnerable first. Once those at greatest risk are protected, the next step is to immunize a high percentage of the adult population. Only afterwards should countries consider vaccinating younger groups.
The local Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, recently said that this exercise will commence in the country very soon, since the schedule for its administration is near completion. It is expected that once the vaccination for this age group is rolled out, it will further push the country to achieving herd immunity. Meanwhile, countries were also tasked with building a more resilient medical system, since according to the director, healthcare systems have been significantly weakened due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our health systems should be properly managed and guided by evidence to ensure that they are effective and can keep us safe.
It was conveyed that over the past week, a total of 700,000 new COVID-19 cases and 13,000 deaths were recorded in the Americas. As for Guyana, over 500 new COVID-19 infections were recorded in the past week. For the HTP 90 News, Kendall Richmond.
Over in Jamaica, stakeholders in the education sector continue to chime in on the Ministry of Education's announcement for a new sixth form program being mandated for all students. However, they argue that more discussions are needed for a successful implementation.
There are mixed reactions surrounding the implementation of a mandatory sixth form program, which will see students completing an additional 2 years of schooling before graduating from grade 13. It's called the Sixth Form Pathways program, and while not in disagreement, stakeholders were hoping for more consultation with the public before a policy decision was taken.
Having a sixth form is a good thing. When I served in that ministry, I encouraged schools to try and develop sixth forms because it adds maturity to the school community.
Ronald Thwaites is a former education minister and now the national coordinator for Catholic schools. He said the majority of schools are not ready. Moreover, he's highlighting the disparity in funding from the government for students who enroll at high school versus community colleges or private facilities.
Those who stay in the high school will only be paid, subsidized, paid for at $17,000. Now that's nonsense, Jamila. They can't do that.
But during Parliament today, Education Minister Favour Williams tried to justify the cost, one which seemingly didn't sit well with some MPs.
In our public schools, the government already provides the building, the electricity, the internet, the teacher, the admin staff, all of that. All right? Whereas in our private schools, they have to, provide for their own teachers.
The recent CXC passes have been described as poor, with a disappointing 23% pass rate in mathematics. Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says that there are many children being engaged in criminal activities, but opposition spokeswoman on education Dr. Angela Brownberg argues that an additional 2 years may not be the solution to the learning loss being experienced because of the pandemic.
We need to ensure that all our children have these choices, and we also need to fix K through 11 before we begin to talk about the 2 additional years.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
And internationally, we go to Burundi. Motorists are lining up to get fuel and traders cannot buy goods because of a shortage in foreign currency. Economists say Western sanctions imposed on the country, plus the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, are making life difficult for its residents. The EU slapped asset freezes on the country after former president's decision to run for a controversial third term in office in 2015.
This has become a familiar sight on the streets of Bujumbura. Motorists spend much of their time queuing for fuel. Habimana Marie says it's taken her 4 hours to get her tank filled.
It's a big problem because we're often late for work. It completely disrupts our days.
Some economists say the country is running low on foreign currency that's needed for imports like fuel and medicines.
Many Burundians say they are frustrated. This has been going on for weeks now, but it's not the first time they're experiencing a shortage of fuel. Neither is it the first time that the government is facing a shortage of foreign currency. Some tell us it all goes back to 2015 when there was a political crisis.
Former President Pierre Nkurunziza's decision to run for a controversial third term 6 years ago sparked political unrest. More than 1,000 people were killed and many displaced. Donors like the European Union and the US withdrew government funding, and sanctions they imposed on the country are yet to be lifted. The pandemic and the closure of foreign exchange bureaus by the central bank in 2020 made the situation worse. Horichubonye Donosio imports goods from Asia, Europe, and neighboring countries. He says he's struggling to stay afloat. He tells us he hopes sanctions will soon be lifted and border crossings fully reopened, because without that, the economy can't start growing again. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Bujumbura.
And that's regional and international news. Stay with us. A recap of the headlines is up next. And now let's take a look back at what made the news this evening. The Ministry of Education to disclose the next step for the full reopening of all schools on Friday. Johnson & Johnson vaccine now available as Grenada's third COVID-19 vaccine choice. 2020 non-capital murder case to be tried before the High Court next year. 18-year-old boys accused of robbing a supermarket given a firm scolding by the presiding magistrate. Father and daughter duo arrested and charged in mega drug bust granted bail. Regionally, PAHO still not in support of vaccination for children population. Internationally, continuing US-EU sanctions on Burundi add to economic woes. In sports, West Indies to tour Sri Lanka for 2 tests come November 21st. And that's the end of the GBN Nightly News for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and the YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh. On behalf of the entire news team, enjoy the rest of your night.